Previously on Samvivor.
Welcome to Samvivor.
The day began with 6 Huskies, my Yukon-affiliated friends, 6 nerds, my trivia and board game friends, and 2 of my teacher friends. A schoolyard pick separated the groups into 2 tribes. Kinaria and Samidia. Samidia came out ahead in the first challenge, and Kinaria's first vote involved Carrie blindsiding one of her best friends to gain trust with her tribe members. Although the nerds were outnumbered on Kinaria, they were able to survive the next 2 votes when Brian the teacher and Matt the Husky were sent home. Or, more accurately, on a beer run. At Samidia, the Yukon Actor Alliance of Jack, Mike, and Hannah were running the show and grabbed Albert as their 4th, eliminating the nerds, Nolan and Hannah G, leaving Jimson as the odd one out. When the tribes merged, Kinaria pushed hard to pull Hannah to their side.
Yeah, Hannah's involved in this.
But she stuck with her original tribe, and Brian was eliminated. Jimson, sensing he was on the bottom,
These Yukon guys over here, pretty strong, solid.
decided to flip to the opposing alliance.
Going down, motherfucker.
But miscommunication led to an incorrect vote. Harrison was eliminated with a plurality. With only 2 Kinaria members remaining, the core 4 at Samidia took out the hit on Jimson. The writing was on the wall for Devin, but just when Carrie had given up hope, Samidia completely turned on itself, with votes going to both Mike
I love $1 million divided by 50,000.
and Hannah, but Mike's extra vote sealed Hannah's fate.
The tribe has spoken.
At the final 4, the last remaining original nerd and Kinaria member finally won a challenge, leaving her with the decision of eliminating Jack or Mike.
Thought he's gonna say that, because otherwise it's him. You bring Mike, he's gonna get you.
In the end, she chose to keep Mike,
Mike and Albert are the reason why I'm still here. And I want to be loyal.
The tribe has spoken.
Should have split the Yukon vote.
Only 3 remain. The Husky, Mike. He had all the confidence in the world coming in.
Intelligence in my muscles, and because I have to win the game, it was written in the stars. I'm an astrologer, and I read it this morning.
He dominated strategically all the way to the end, turning on his allies at the right time
To help my friends win Samvivor, I'm here to win Samvivor.
to ensure he could sit next to the people he wanted to.
If I take Alan, and then maybe Carrie, that's a 3 I can win.
On the way, he played aggressively, finding the hidden immunity idol and the extra vote advantage, in addition to winning 2 individual immunity challenges.
Mike wins!
But will his cockiness cost him
This
votes?
is a boring vote. I think I have the jury's votes already.
The teacher, Albert, who had never seen Survivor,
Have you ever seen Survivor before?
No. I guess my strategy to myself, kind of sneak in there.
did not know a single person in his tribe at the start of
I
the
think I
game.
remember everybody's
In a
name.
show of unity, he gave up his individual immunity for the first vote
Ooh, anal beads.
and pledged his loyalty to Mike and Jack.
Mike and Jack. We're gonna take it to the end.
Throughout the game, he made his fellow contestants laugh.
Hello, mate. Hello, mate. I was just excited a man was whispering in my ear.
But managed to fly under the radar.
I mean, Albert's he's making some postures at me for looking at
And
me.
was the only person in the game to have never had their name written down.
Still going.
He was a fierce competitor as well, winning individual immunity twice. Will the jury respect his social game?
That's the spectators. Who do you think is going to win today?
Albert.
And the nerd, Carrie.
Do you think you're going to win today?
Probably not, but I want to.
Carrie found herself on the bottom after receiving a vote at the very first
I
tribal.
spelled it wrong. And in like the way that offends me the most.
Had to adapt to avoid being voted out.
So I am worried.
She advertised her willingness to vote against her allies early and often, and downplayed her threat level
Really strong in challenges so far.
until the most opportune moment, winning the final immunity challenge and earning her place at the end. Will the jury appreciate her subtle maneuvers? Now, they'll have to argue their case to the jury, all of the players that were previously voted out, for why they deserve the title of Sole Samvivor and the $200 cash prize. Each finalist will begin with an opening statement. Carrie, you're up first.
Do I really have to go first? I
think that I was strategic without being a liar. I had to betray some people who I didn't really want to, especially on my original tribe. But once the merge happened, I really did try to fight my ass off to make sure that our original tribe took over. That didn't happen, and that's unfortunate, but I'm still here. I'm the last person standing because I was smarter than everyone else, including the people on the dominant tribe.
Albert.
So I don't think I knew anybody going into this today, and so right off the bat, I think my goal was just trying to get to know people through my personality. Like, I think my first move of giving up my immunity in the beginning, kind of ingratiated myself with my tribe, then forming an alliance with Mike and Jack. But yeah, there were points where I didn't vote with my alliance. Jimson, that was one of yours. I voted for Jack on that one. So they don't know. He just found out now.
Ooh.
Yeah, just because I needed it to know. Yep. So I feel like I played the game pretty well.
Mike.
So from when I found out this was happening, I immediately knew that I needed to mine some of my relationships here. I reached out to Hannah immediately, and I said, Hannah, we should team up. And we did that, and we had a goal, like, let's make it towards, and we didn't say final tribal, we said towards the end on purpose, and we did that. Same with Jack. Jack and I talked at home because we're roommates. I said, Jack, listen, till the merge, we're fucking solid. And we were solid past the merge. But I also knew that wasn't going to be enough to take me far in this game. I knew that I had to develop relationships outside of just those two guys, because we were always going to be going for each other towards the end there, and I wanted something else to try and push me over the edge. Al came in. Al didn't know anybody, so I immediately went to Al, and I was like, listen, you and I should go to the final two together, or final tribal together, and we are here. And I attribute that use of strategy of finding another person that I could trust. And he knew about my idol as soon as I found it. So I used that to build trust there. He knew about my extra vote fairly early after I found it. And I used that relationship as well. Yeah, you did. I told you soonish after. I used that relationship as well to maneuver and get information, like about how Jimson was orchestrating a vote for me. Through my relationship, even though you didn't vote with me, you did still give some information that there was more people on that voting block than I originally assumed were.
I have a question. You mentioned that you didn't lie. Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing in Survivor?
I did lie. The reason why Mike is here and not you is because Mike is the reason why I was still in the game, and I decided to go with loyalty. But I stayed loyal to my entire tribe. The only person on my original tribe who I cast a vote for was Harrison, because I thought that he was allying with you guys at our first merge tribal council. But also because of some of the language that he used. Some of the things that he said I thought was suspicious, so I voted for him out of spite, because I thought that he just automatically was with you guys. I do think you have to lie to play Survivor. Mike lied. Mike lied to me multiple times. I never really talked to Albert, but I'm sure he lied. Mike did lie to me. I asked you and Jack. You guys tried to convince me to vote for Jimson, and I was almost going to do it. And I went up to you guys. I had suspicions that you guys had an idol, and I said, "Have you guys found a hidden immunity idol?" And you guys said, "Oh, don't interrupt me. This is my time. This is my time. This is my time." I asked you guys right before tribal. This was gonna be my decision. I was like, if they say yes, then I will vote for Jimson.
You did lie a lot.
Not a lot. I did not lie to the people that I trusted, but you have to lie to get through it. You guys told me you didn't have an idol, and then you fucking played it. So, she didn't even know you had it.
So lying is...
You lied to Hannah.
But isn't lying good?
You lied.
Is lying good or bad?
It's good.
So I did a good thing.
Yeah, lying is good.
So, yes, we did have an alliance before we came in here, and I believe that we actually did try to tell each other that we were going to try to make it to the finals, and that we would sacrifice Jack if it came down to it.
You gotta
so
do
I
it.
do just want to ask you, because I will admit that I played loyal to our game the whole time. So did you play loyal to mine? Did you vote for me when I got kicked out?
Yep.
He did, and he told me to vote for you, right?
I did. I realized I had to make a big move that wasn't just voting for the next easy out, because that was a lot of what we did. I came to win.
But why
And
loyal to Al, not
because I thought I had a better chance at beating them than beating you.
You didn't want to split the Yukon vote too.
Why? Why did you think you
Because
could
Hannah was
beat
playing,
them over here?
what I thought was a better game than either of them.
In what sense?
In the sense
really.
that
I really wasn't.
I feel
I wasn't
like
doing very well.
I didn't, at least me, I didn't discuss much of the game with Carrie. I didn't see her discussing much of the game. I'm sure that's not true, but from my eyes, she wasn't playing. And I think Al was aligned with me the whole time, so, or most of the time, at least from what I thought. So I was like, good. I helped him get here too, so I could beat them and not him.
I have a question for Al. So, you've never seen Survivor. So how hard was it for you, and how much harder was it for you to get here, not being a fan of Survivor?
I mean, I knew the basic premise. I played number games. I knew at some point during the merge, if we can kick out, I went with the majority that I knew was voting until I knew it was an even split. And then that's when, to be honest, bro, I thought they were gonna vote you out at some point.
To me, I'm voting for you at Tribal.
And my goal was
That's why I started kicking in the arguments.
and that's why, because everybody else was voting for you. That's what I thought from my conversations with Devin and Hannah and Carrie and Jimson. They were all planning against you. I knew Mike had the idol, and my point of telling you that was to make sure I kept an alliance with you and Mike, as well as built something with Devin and his group. But they split it. To be honest, I feel like that screwed it up. If they had just all gone to you, I think you would have been out. But that's also why I was telling Mike to give you the idol. Because I knew he had it. I was telling him to give it to you, but he chose for himself for whatever reason.
The swing votes are teachers, right? They didn't come in with a team. Nobody really knew where they would fit in, and you did a good job of locking down Al going into this. And I think you played a very good and ruthless game, right? How much of that do you think was because of the pre-planning you did, and how much of it was because of the work that you did on the ground in the game?
A lot of it was adapted. I didn't expect my name to be written down as much as it was. I had to adapt to every vote. I wanted to make a big move sooner, but I noticed I started getting votes cast towards me, and I also noticed where my loyalties were coming from. I wanted to work with Devins earlier. I had to change my plans because of what names were showing up in the thing.
Do you think that pre-planning is taking a sort of easy way out and unsportsmanlike?
Nope.
All right, cool.
Actual Survivor.
You will not have my vote.
I did not go into this planning anything with anyone. No. That's not true.
Apparently, I was the round one vote on their team.
So, beyond that, which didn't even, by the way, end up happening, so you cannot judge me based on that, because that is not part of this game.
Well, I found the immunity idol, and I found the extra vote. I think those are two easy examples. I think I played that one pretty well, and I won some challenges. I think I did some good maneuvering in tribal council to ensure my place here. When the opportunity came to talk to Carrie about voting for Hannah, I took that, and yeah, I think my resume is pretty sound.
So what's on your guys' resume?
Well, I think I'm next.
Are you splitting the winnings?
No,
I'm hearing a lot out of you, and it's very aggressive towards the two other players, but nothing at Mike, right? You know what I mean?
That's part of council. It's
I know. I just want everybody to have the same opportunity. You know what I mean?
3 hours.
All right, great.
I'm still bitter.
I
admit that.
Yeah.
I think I set a lot of points from the beginning. My goal was I didn't know anybody, and to get out there and start talking to people and get to know people. Did a great job the first game. We kicked ass on that jigsaw puzzle. And I think that started us off on a great pace. And so I kind of loved my team, got in there, won 2 challenges. We're gonna say my highlight was the bocce for my team, not necessarily the cat food, because I don't want to go down for that, but sure. Yeah, but I did it. And then when we got into the merge, it was having conversations with both sides, keeping information, sending information back and forth. I kind of was playing both sides of it, but I feel like in a good way that helped me get to this position now.
Carrie.
Went into this knowing I am not strong physically. I haven't been to a gym in like 4 years. I got very anxious because I was the only woman on my tribe, and I just assumed I was going to be voted out either first or close to that. So for my first vote, I had to vote out one of my best friends, Brian Elliott, because I thought that would establish a good... Yes. And I disguised my vote so he wouldn't know it was me. So I had to vote out one of my friends to establish an alliance that carried me through to the merge. And once the merge came, I fought my ass off to survive, but I pretty much did this all on my own. Devin was a huge help to me. We really tried to talk to everyone. The reason why some people up here are saying that they never really talked to me was because Devin was talking to these two and I was talking to other people because we didn't want it to be obvious. We were strategic about who we talked to. And I didn't plan anything with Devin before. I really truly feel like I fought my ass off. I made up for what I lack physically in my social game.
Coming in here not knowing anybody and just getting to know people. I showed people my pictures of my new kitten, made jokes. Sorry, I got you later. I mean, I'm here. I made alliances with the right people. I didn't try and go big when we merged. It's talking to one person and trying to play the math.
I think a case can and has been made for all 3 of us as to why we deserve it. However, how I think I deserve it. I came out here, I played hard, I made alliances. Yes, I broke some alliances, but I did that so that I could further my place, specifically you, Hannah. I think that those were moves that were made for the game, and I think that at the end of the day, this is a game. I also would like to point out that he just said I made alliances with the right people as a reason why he got here. Who is that right person? That would be me. At the beginning of Tribal, Carrie said, I brought Mike here because he did this thing at Tribal. He is the reason why I'm here. She said that, right? So I think both of those things that were said in front of you right now illuminate how I orchestrated to get myself in this position in front of y'all.
Well, I'm up here and I didn't have to betray any of my original alliances to get here. I stayed loyal to Devin. I stayed loyal to like everyone else who I came to the merge with, except my one vote for Harrison, but then I was with him right after and I told him right after. And unfortunately, Brian was voted out, which sucked because I think if Brian had stayed, he would be up here. So I really think that I played a pretty loyal game. I stayed loyal to the people who I promised I would, and I'm really proud of it.
I've never had to write any of your names down. Tonight will be the first time. I think we had an alliance early. You were definitely in the minority tribe, and you're still here. So I guess my last question was, how do I spell your name again?
Final vote. I know I voted for you a bunch of times and totally backstabbed you, but this isn't even because you're my best friends, because you outplayed everybody there. So my vote goes to Michael. Well done, Mike. I hope you win, buddy. You too. Buy me a beer. Come on. Be a pal.
We're voting for the winner, right?
Yeah, the winner.
Pre-game alliances are bullshit in my opinion. They can tell me otherwise, but I'm the one making the vote.
I'm a little nervous about this vote, but he played a game I wish I would have played. Something more aggressive.
Since the beginning, honestly, I'd be in the final 3. Just 1 or 2 moves differently, but you deserve it.
All right. So it's a difficult decision, folding it early, but I think between everyone, Mike played the game that I wish I had played, and everybody else was just factors in his plans and devising. So, good job, Mike.
Man, this is so hard. I have to go for Mary because she had my back the whole game.
All right. So that final tribal council was definitely emotional, maybe too emotional for me. But I definitely got some answers to some questions I needed. And Carrie, I love you. If I had aligned with you earlier, we probably could have gone to the end. But I played a loyal game. I'm gonna fucking stay loyal to my boy. Even though he crossed me, motherfucker, I won't forget this when I make you pay for my drinks at the bar. And with that, I'm gonna go take a piss behind the pagoda.
So, what a day. This has been incredible. Everybody played really great. You know, I felt like I wanted to vote for every single one of them out there. I wanted to vote for Mike. I think he played a very strong game. Certainly, Albert came in here knowing nobody. He played an incredible game. Carrie played a really strong game. You know, I was originally very upset because I thought we had an alliance and she voted me out, but hearing her explain it up on stage, you know, it really made me see that she did play a very strong game. She really did manage to play both sides to a greater degree than I would have expected from anybody. So I'm going to vote for Carrie.
There are 11 votes in here. Whoever has the most votes will be awarded the title of Sole Samvivor. And 3 months later, you're right.
You guys all gonna look different.
Everyone looks good. And I have like a lot of eyeliner, and everyone's like, she looked better on the island.
All right, I will read the votes. First vote, Albert.
Nice.
Good game, Al.
Albatross.
Second vote, Carrie.
Good job, Carrie.
Third vote, Mike. 1 vote each. Mike. 2 votes, Mike. 1 vote, Carrie. 1 vote, Al. Mike. That's 3 votes, Mike. Carrie. 2 votes, Carrie. 3 votes, Mike. Carrie. We're tied. 3 votes, Carrie. 3 votes, Mike. 1 vote, Al. Mike. 4 votes, Mike. 3 votes, Carrie. 1 vote, Al. Mike. 5 votes, Mike. 3 votes, Carrie. 1 vote, Al. Carrie. 4 votes, Carrie. 5 votes, Mike. 1 vote, Al.
This is the final vote. If it's for Mike or Al, Mike is the winner. If it's for Carrie, we have a tie. I'll reveal the vote.
Carrie. We have a tie. 5 votes, Carrie. 5 votes, Mike. Al, unfortunately, you didn't get enough votes. So, you will be casting the deciding
Holy
vote.
fuck.
Whoever voted for Al really
I know.
fucked it up.
Come on, Al.
Thanks.
No, thanks.
Deserved votes.
I should have gotten more votes than I got. I'm just saying. Like, I don't think you should start filming yet to not waste battery.
Did it come down to tribal lines? Maybe it was. Yeah, I can hear it.
That'd be such a stab in the back to Mike. I gotta do it though. I don't know. But it would be like a good twist because we were aligned the entire game, and then to just like turn around. Mike played a great game, although love girl power and everything. They're all gonna hit. I'm a little disappointed I only got one vote though, I'm just gonna say.
I would have voted for you.
Really?
The winner of Samvivor and the $200 prize and owes me a drink, Mike.
Good game, though.
Good game, guys.
Woo!
Thank you, Sam. Oh my God, what a game.
So much fun.
Sam, well done in hand too. And happy birthday, Sam.
Let's bring in Sia.
Oh God.
$1,000 for the runner-up.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Jeff Probst. Sam. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Most intense birthday party ever.
Oh my God.